Welcome, guys. We're on the NFL Alumni Media Network.
Yes, we are.
We got just Dave because I've butchered his name too much, and it's Sideline Sports with Dave. Got Mike Sherrard, who's going to knock in a minute. Welcome to the show, Mike. And, of course, the regular cohorts, Jon Shearer and Jake Malik. Jake, who's been driving us crazy throughout this whole process, setting this system up so we can look pretty for everyone out there watching. So let's start.
Mike, can you hear us?
He just knocked and came in, and then he's
gone.
gone.
I just had him.
We had you, Mike. We
had you. So close.
Try it one more time.
Anybody that's watching, I apologize. This is all new. We are doing our best.
Yeah. Hey, believe me, if they've been watching this, they don't expect a whole lot. So, let's keep it real.
Okay, Mike, you are there.
Can you guys hear me?
A few places. Hang on one second,
Yes.
Mike.
Yeah.
Give me 1 second. Go ahead, Mike. Talk.
Mic check. 1, 2, 1, 2.
Yes, we did it.
I hear you.
It's beautiful. It's all working.
Oh, this is such a miracle.
Mike, on the bottom, just click on video and we're all good.
Yeah, so these guys have been apologizing, but I'm going to tell you, it doesn't get much better than this. You know, we even when we had a system that we knew what we were doing with, it isn't that much better. But and so, Mike, thanks for coming on the show. Mike is a buddy of mine. You know, he played for a bunch of years, and I keep bringing on New York Giants because we got a couple of Giants fans on this deal, and at some point we're going to run out. We have to find somebody else, but. Mike and I have been doing a lot of neat stuff together. Mike is very involved with the NFL alumni. As you guys know, I'm with the PA. Two separate entities, same freaking guys. I don't understand it, but we're doing some really neat stuff. We've been doing some golf tournaments. We've got an upcoming NFL alumni golf tournament event, and we are launching an NFL alumni business networking platform to kind of bridge the gap between NFL players and businesses and create a platform where we have special events and we can do some really great networking deals for our former players. But anyway, so Mike, tell us about yourself, bud.
About myself. Well, I'm a small town kid from Chico, California. Made my way to UCLA. Played there for 5 years. Obviously redshirted 1 year because I was a walk-on, so I wasn't ready to step in and do anything on the big stage. I was fortunate enough to work hard and get in a position to get drafted in the first round by the Cowboys. Played there for 3 years with the old school Cowboys. Tom Landry was the head coach, and got to do with Tony Dorsett and Herschel Walker, Danny White, Randy White, Too Tall. All the old school Cowboys.
Oh, you're old. You're old.
I'm super old.
You don't look like it.
But
I was going to say, you could have fooled me. I would have known nothing else.
Okay, well, now you know the secrets, the cat's out of the bag.
That's okay.
Yeah, then, fortunate enough to go to the 49ers, win the Super Bowl with Joe Montana, Steve Young, Jerry Rice. Those guys are okay. Those guys are, those guys were awesome to play with. And ended up playing 11 years in the league. And so just very fortunate. Obviously, it's a violent game, as Dave can tell you. But, it's a childhood dream, and, I enjoyed every minute of it.
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely.
Hey, guys, a quick story about Mike. And I think I've shared this with Mike. My roommate at San Diego State, his name is Stuart Busby. And he also came out of Chico. And we were going to go play UCLA. He goes, "Oh, that Mike Sherrard, he's always hurt. He's always hurt. Yeah, I only played 12 years in the league. But my buddy Stuart was a little bit nuts. So I thought everybody that came out of Chico was nuts, but Mike's a really good guy.
Stuart was crazy.
Stuart was crazy. Actually, when everyone found out I was rooming with him, they go, "Oh, you're rooming with Crazy Busby."
That is him.
So real quick, before we go any further, Dave, I almost feel sacrilegious having not done this yet. We're a couple minutes into the show, so I actually apologize for the NFL alumni people, those who are watching us for the first time. Is a recurring segment. Dave has a rule that, Dave, I'll let you explain it first.
Well,
what is your
these
rule?
guys invited me to come on this show, and I said, sure, when are you doing it? They said, Tuesday nights at 5:30 West Coast time. And I said, well, bro, that's my taco eating time. and I love y'all, and this sounds like fun, but I'm gonna probably be eating tacos halfway through the show. They said, don't worry about it. So every week, Jake really gets excited about what
I get
tacos
excited
I'm
about
eating.
food.
I already ate my carne asada tacos because it took us forever to get set up.
I'm sorry. All right, I take the blame. All right.
But at least we're consistent. Every single week there's something.
You're
But
right
Mike,
about
you know, as offensive lineman, man, we ain't gonna stop eating for nothing.
You gotta eat. That's what you do. You gotta keep it up.
Hey, it's Tuesday and it's Taco Tuesday.
It's
Why
Taco
not?
Tuesday.
I gotta
So
see
that
Mike.
so I had to know what what Dave was eating, Mike. So now you know, and everybody else knows. This is the thing I do every week with Dave. Is I ask him what are the tacos of the week, and I got to know. He
gotta
keeps me
say,
on my toes.
Mike
Carne
looks
asada.
like a hard-hitting safety. That's who Mike reminds me of.
Well,
Like a
not quite.
vicious safety that you don't want to go across the middle on. That's who Mike reminds me of. One of those safeties. It's like, nope, don't go across the middle on this guy because he's gonna knock your block off.
I'm just the opposite. I'm a wide receiver, so I want to stay away from those safeties.
I was gonna
Exactly.
say, Mike, I don't know if you should take that as a compliment or not, because that was quite the opposite of what you did.
No, I'm just saying, Mike looks like he was a
That's
vicious
okay.
football player.
That's okay. I mean, football players all have a screw loose.
Hey,
But I'm on the opposite side, and I want to avoid those safeties. That's one thing you learn real quick going from college to pros, that everybody can hit. Safeties can all, lay the wood. So,
yeah.
in my day, you could hit receivers. These days, not so much.
Nowadays, if you
all.
breathe in the direction of a player in the wrong way, not penalty.
Jake, that you got a penalty right there. That's it. 15
What?
yards, first down.
For breathing
You
at
look-
you?
You were looking at Mike. It's not on anymore.
Mike, I'm sorry.
That's right.
Hey, Mike,
15 yards. Let's go.
was Ronnie Lott in San Francisco when you were there?
Yeah. Ronnie was there. Man, talk about a great team leader. This guy, he really ran the whole team. We had a lot of superstars on the team. This is before the salary cap. I mean, to have, Joe Montana's a starter, Steve Young is a backup, and besides, Jerry Rice and Roger Craig, and we had a lot of superstars on the team.
My good friend Jesse Sapolo was there.
Jesse is the best. Not to leave out the lineman, Charles Haley. So we had a lot of guys, but Ronnie Lott ran the ship. Just a tough, hard-nosed guy, great leader, great person as well.
But I was going across the middle when he was sitting there.
Not a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, that doesn't sound like it would be particularly pleasant.
Not even in practice.
No. Luckily in practice, that's one thing the Niners protected, mainly because of number 80. They could not hit the receivers, so that was a good thing. Thank you, Jerry Rice.
Well, and Bill Walsh, because I was sitting up in Seattle and I was reading the newspapers and watching you guys in shells, and Chuck Knox would have us going out for our third practice. And I'm like, what the heck, man? Those Niners, they got something figured out.
There's something that can't go on anymore. 3-a-days.
Yeah.
No, the Niners were the leader in terms of not practicing hitting, not practicing with pads on. My first year in the Niners, I was coming off an injury. And so by the time I started practicing with them as mid-season, we never wore pads. We wore maybe shoulder pads one day a week, and that was it. We never put on full gear, never hit. It's just to keep guys healthy. And Dave will tell you that guys are so big and physical in the pros that it's hard to stay healthy if you're, doing inside drill and those sort of crazy things a couple days during the week, during the season. Your body just can't take it.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
Hey, so
I never experienced that. I can only imagine. No, thank you.
When you mentioned the Dallas Cowboys, you mentioned a bunch of stars. And then you mentioned the Niners, you're there, you mentioned a bunch of stars. And then you just talked about the Giants and they kept going.
No,
Who was with the Giants when you were there?
obviously, in the pros, there's a lot of great players in the pros.
Yeah.
The best player, I played with Lawrence Taylor, played with Phil Simms. Rodney Hampton was the man. Michael Strahan. I played with some
A very
really
young
good
Strahan.
players. Yeah, and played with the Broncos my last year. Number 7, John Elway. You guys probably heard of him. He was pretty good. Shannon Sharp, Terrell Davis. So
You didn't play with anybody good.
All scrubs. Nobody good.
Roddy Lott, John Elway.
Yeah.
LT.
Uh,
I mean, come on.
Come
Who are
on,
these
guys.
players? Who are
You
these
got
guys?
some passes from some pretty good guys then.
I did. I was lucky that I played in great cities that wanted to win and had reputation for winning Super Bowls. I mean, not that I only won one Super Bowl, but all the programs were geared towards winning and putting a good product on the field.
Who did you win the Super Bowl with?
With the Niners in 1990. So it was we beat the Broncos 55-10. I think it's still the biggest blowout in Super Bowl history.
I was gonna say you just got there in time for the for that championship. That I'm sure that was incredible. I mean, I'd love to hear just the experience of that. Because I can only imagine what that's like.
Yeah, because the year before, the Niners had beat the Bengals in the Super Bowl.
Yep.
When John Taylor caught the winning touchdown catch. Then we played the next year. We made it. We were 14-2 in the season, and played the Broncos. But the funny thing is, you go to the Super Bowl as a kid. You watch it and dream about it, and it's obviously a big deal. And as a player, you think it can't live up to the hype. It's too much. But trust me, it does live up to the hype.
Yeah.
One quick story about it. So during the season, obviously Jerry Rice does not come off the field much. I mean, never. So during the second, third play of the game, he came off the field. He's like, Mike, stay in there. I need to go off. I'm like, okay. So ran a couple plays. He came back in. He had 2 touchdowns and typical Jerry Rice, game. So after the game, I'm like, Jerry, why did you come out? And he goes, Mike, I couldn't breathe. I mean, the moment was so big, I just couldn't. I needed to catch my breath. And this is the second play of the game, and if Jerry Rice feels overwhelmed, then it's something special.
Absolutely. So speaking of Rice, having been his teammate, just you play the same position, you play with the guy every day, whether it's practice, games, whatever. Just what did you learn from him? What things did you get taken that you could take away from him?
I think the main thing is just his work ethic is legendary. How he shows up at practice every day, every route, every drill is full speed. Like Jerry wants to be the best player on the field, but he wants to put out the most effort every play. So just watching him practice, watching him show up for games, it could be preseason, regular season, doesn't matter. That guy gives 100% effort every time. He wants to win because he's really not the fastest. I mean, he had probably the same size as me, but he was determined to make it happen, and just a great teammate to have.
Mike, as you were sharing that, I think it's almost exactly how I described Steve Largent to the guys. I had a chance to play with him for a full season and watch him in practice. And you're watching a Hall of Famer in his final years play like he's trying to make the team as a rookie and diving for catches, and all out to perform at his very best. And that's how it came across in the games, even at the later stages, but he didn't have to.
Yeah, and that's what it takes. I mean, it's hard. I tell that to kids all the time when I talk to a group of younger people, how that work ethic, and then also Jerry's work ethic, it translates to other guys on the team. Because when I got to the Niners, he catches a slant in practice. He's sprinting 60 yards down the field. If the next person catches a slant and goes back to the huddle, you look like an idiot. And so him and Roger Craig really led how we practice. They set the standard. And so, that's why the Niners were good for so long, with him being the catalyst. Not really a vocal leader. I mean, he did not need to be a vocal leader, but just the way he performed in practice and prepared and just focused on what to do. Not a better person to emulate than Jerry Rice.
Absolutely. And I always have to ask people this because we don't talk to a lot of guys that were teammates with LT, but anybody that was, I always ask about them. Are there any stories that you can share that won't get you or anybody else in trouble, that are not too crazy? Because I've heard my share of some crazy LT stories, and I've had stories confirmed that I thought were maybe not true. But are there anything you can share that it doesn't have to be too crazy? I love to hear what you got.
I'll say a funny LT story, and I love LT. LT's locker was right next to mine. He's a great guy. So Dan Reeves was the head coach on the Giants, and so at the beginning of the season, after training camp, he's like, "Okay, guys, during the season, we're gonna lift twice a week, and if you don't lift, you miss it for whatever reason, it's $1,000." So LT raises his hand. He's like, "Coach, just find me 32 grand because I'm not lifting. So he put it out there in front of everybody. Hey, I'm not lifting. I'm going to go out there, get my sacks. I'm going to do my thing. You will not see me in the weight room. And for a guy that, in most of his career, when he
That's
was
awesome.
at the top of his game,
Yeah.
you know, I was mainly on different teams. When I joined the Giants, it was his last year or two in the league. So he was still good, but not, you know, the prime time LT that everyone feared. But just a great teammate. Again, he had his own method of doing things. He wasn't going to lift weights. He wasn't going to practice a lot. But come Sunday, you know,
he was ready.
Tackle trying to block him because he's bringing it.
Yeah, I've heard plenty of stories about him, and the one thing I can say, you know, that I can tell you from the stories is that he was not a conventional guy. But what I can tell you from watching him was, I don't care, unconventional or not, the guy could play. And, you know, I love hearing stories like that because it just kind of confirms the other things I've heard, which is he would do anything to win.
Yep.
And that is on or off the field. And like you said, he had his ways of doing things, right? They may not have made sense to everybody, but he's probably one of the greatest, if not the greatest defensive player of all time. So at that point, you just say, okay, you let it go, right? You go, I think he's got something up his sleeve. I just trust him.
You're like
Listen,
themselves. And then the wild part also, and I don't know how it was when Bill Parcells was on the team, but when I was on the team, like most NFL teams, you stay in a hotel the night before the game. The Giants were the team I played for. There was no hotel the night before the game, not for home games. So, which is dangerous with LT and New York City right across the river.
Oh, God.
No curfew. So, you know, we're happy he showed up every Sunday. He was there. But I'm sure that was a question of the coaches' minds.
I'm sure. You know, like I said, he was one of a kind, but
he's one of a few players that single-handedly could change a game.
Oh yeah,
and with that many players, he
sure,
could completely disrupt and change the momentum of a game.
Right, but you see, like the Redskins had to put a bunch of tight ends on the field. So did other teams because him against any tackle in the league, it
wasn't a fair fight.
It's not a fair fight, and so he changed it. You had to double team him, but he was a guy that he wanted to win badly. And again, he had his own method of doing it. Not many people could get 0 hours sleep and do other crazy things and still be a Hall of Famer and last that long in the league.
No.
But he did it.
Putting LT in front of any offensive lineman just by themselves is like putting a bull in front of a person and hoping that person can stop that bull from running them over. It's just not going to happen. No normal person can do that. No normal person and no freakishly athletic person could stop LT. He was special for sure.
Not only is he a Hall of Famer, he's also one of the greatest players to ever.
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely.
For sure.
Listen, you know how they say that the worst thing in life is wasted talent? That man did not waste his talent. He was unbelievable. You know, just imagine had he lifted weights during the season and did all that other stuff. Is it possible?
Could you imagine how good he was or would have been?
No, I can't. He was phenomenal.
I'd be scared.
So, you know, I was just thinking this. You know, I'm running through the list in my head. How many Hall of Famers have you ever done the count?
Oh, geez.
I mean, I've been on a team with. I mean, because you were on premier teams. I mean, you're saying Dorsett, Landry. I mean, I'm just thinking Ted Tujal Jones. I mean, boom, boom, boom. It's like every team you're on at their prime.
You played on some elite teams. Yeah, Dave is right.
I mean, Randy White on the Cowboys. Randy White as well. You know, the Niners, Charles Haley, Ronnie Lott, Joe, Steve, Jerry Rice. I hope I'm not forgetting anybody.
There's too many.
So
you ever play with? I mean, you didn't play with Barry Sanders. So what kind of career did you really have? I mean, come on.
Imagine if you had Dan Marino through.
Oh, John, will you stop talking about your teams?
I love my Miami teams, man.
All right, shush.
There you go.
So they had one player.
We have plenty of players. And you have a receiver in here, and you said they only have one player, but you're not going to name their receivers? Dan Marino threw two? Come on, man. One of the greatest duos in the history of the NFL.
How do you always find a way to sneak your teams into this?
It's what I do best.
Paul Warfield? Who are the receivers?
Duper and Clayton.
Duper and Clayton.
Oh yeah,
one of the best duos in the history of the game.
Yeah, all right, they're pretty good. Yeah.
No, they're really good.
So, Mike, before we let you go, I know you and Dave are doing some wonderful things. Dave told us about it before you even came on. Anything you want to plug with what you guys are doing?
Well, I think in general, to me, it's important for athletes, current or retired guys, to get back to the community. I think every athlete has their own thing of what they really want to focus on. Like I have a kid with autism, so I kind of focus on that. I know Dave does a lot of work with veterans and guys, leaving the Army, the military, so to speak. But I think it's important to be, I don't know if role model is the right word, but to give back. I mean, to be in a position where you can raise money or awareness for a foundation or charity just because you were good at blocking, catching, kicking, or whatever. It's worth it, and it's something that you should do. I mean, it's obviously not mandatory, but it's only the right thing to do to give back to the community that supported you, and you could do so much for people that need the help.
I definitely agree, and I'm glad that you and Dave are really leading the forefront in any way we can help. It's an honor to help you guys. I love what you guys are doing, and we appreciate you taking the time, Mike. And you're always welcome to come back on if you have anything else that you're doing.
Definitely.
But definitely always great to talk to a great Giant. Forget about all the other teams. Forget about your Elway, Roddy Lott. Come on, he couldn't.
Forget it. You played for the New York Football Giants. Nothing gets better than that.
We're talking about LT. That's what we're talking about.
That's right.
In all seriousness, Mike, thank you again. We appreciate it.
We had a lot of fun. I appreciate it. I wish you guys the best with the show, and I know it's going to kick butt, so I appreciate it. And I hope y'all come back and get to share some more stories.
We appreciate it, Mike. All right, so from Mike, let's go to Raphael. So this is going to be fun because
this should be interesting.
We're doing it on both. So my StreamYard people, Kyle, let's bring Raphael up,
and let's take Mike down if we can.
Sorry,
I know
Mike.
it's very confusing. I bear with us, everybody.
No. Hey, let me help bridge the gap here. I already know where this is going.
Oh, yay!
I already know where this is going.
Yay, we can talk about it.
Oh, you can talk about all you want.
So, Jake, did you bring Raphael on here, though?
Yeah, I did. I'm waiting for him to pop on.
He's just got to hop on stream.
But the Lakers, I love the Lakers. I just can't watch LeBron play. Even though he's having a great game, it just that Jokic, man, that guy, he gets pummeled and he just keeps playing. Lays the ball, he has like 3 guys bounce off him, and he lays the ball up. LeBron, if you brush him, he flops and screams and cries like every shot. And I'm like, just play the game, bro.
To be fair, LeBron was absolutely insane last night for the Lakers, and nobody else helped him. Really, like it was all LeBron carrying that team last night.
Yeah,
I felt bad for him.
The first half,
30.
Second half, he gassed.
Real quick,
Yeah, it's
Raphael,
not his fault, but
I need you to do me hold on.
points.
Time out. We got to get Raphael so we can talk. But Raphael, do me a favor.
Knock again.
Yes, knock again. For whatever reason, it didn't add you in. Stay muted on StreamYard like you are. Again, for anybody watching at home, we're sorry. Yeah, but he's not in on NFL alumni.
So we'll have the echo.
So we see him, but we won't hear him.
Oh.
I'm adding him in right now.
See Jimmy, but you don't hear Jimmy.
Exactly. We're getting there. We're
I
gonna
watched
get there.
White Man Can't Jump for the first time the other day, so now I understand that reference.
Oh my God. Okay, Raphael. Turn off your camera on NFL alumni, and you'll be perfect. We got you. I can hear you. I know I can.
Turn off my camera?
Yeah, well,
NFL alumni.
Go down to video.
There you go. Beautiful.
Yes, we did it again. I'm so proud of us. We're so smart.
So easy, even a bookie can do it.
I know. I got like 5 computers up, and I'm trying to log out.
Raphael, go on this site.
I was trying to figure out if Taylor Swift and Tom Brady are dating, or Kim Kardashian and Tom Brady are dating.
They're not dating. Gets confirmed already. They're not dating.
Hey, the Mayans are on tomorrow night. Who's dying first?
I know.
Who's dying first?
I actually know I actually know what everything is going to happen already. So I had to take everything down.
You do? Huh?
Oh,
Possible.
boo.
So what happens when you vote on for movies and TV stuff and all that? You get
How
stuff
dare
sent
you.
to you.
How
So-
dare you?
I know it kind of stinks, but the bosses wanted to know, like, hey, post the results now, so when it happens, we don't have people complaining.
That
Hey,
sucks.
what's taking so long? So, but I did not figure out what the finale is. So I heard the finale is a big. Let me take that back. The last 2 episodes, because now these days the second to the last episode is almost better than the finale
Right.
itself. So I do not know what's going on to the second, but like the first one dying and all that stuff, I do know.
Oh.
So, Raphael, I got to ask you. I have a prop bet that I was waiting to see, and I didn't see it. When will Sideline Sports pass 100 and 200 shows?
Well, if you give me the statistics, I'll put up stuff on that.
So,
I don't
John,
even know- what's your show now? I don't even know what your number one show is.
This is our first
Yeah, how many-
one here.
Oh, it's your first. Oh, okay. This one right here.
It's our
Let's
first-
see.
first
Uh,
game.
no, I'm saying as a network.
As a
as a
network.
Yeah. What would you have said? We're around 2 years
you're
right now.
3 years right now. I'm gonna say
This is the third year.
Third year. I'm gonna say you're probably close to 275, 260.
260,
Wow, Raphael's got a lot of confidence in us.
260
I like-
shows? Oh, hold on. No, he's
In
thinking
3
how many
years?
no, JB. I know what he's
Not how
thinking.
many shows? Not how many shows we've done. How many shows we have on the network now? Because that just
Oh.
changed drastically.
Oh,
'Cause I was gonna say-
so confused.
I knew where JB was going with that, and I knew exactly what Raphael was thinking, and I go,
Hey,
no,
every
you're
once in a while,
right.
you gotta have a shameless plug for the network.
That's
You
fine.
know, we
And that's
we
why I
love
had
NFL
this
alumni
one.
media. We love Sideline Sports. You know, we love
Sideline Sports
DBTV.
with Dave DeRoche.
You know, we love it all. So
Sideline
when did
Sports for South Beach, because seems like everybody's gonna be winning championships in South Beach,
It
Florida.
just
this
Well, maybe
Miami.
the Dolphins will, but it's 2023. We're not
What about
talking
the Panthers?
2024 yet.
Oh, he doesn't want to talk about he doesn't want to talk about the Panthers because his Canes are getting smacked by them.
I'm sorry. When the Panthers goalie
Oh.
stops 110 out of 111 goals, it doesn't matter
Yeah.
what team. He could be beating Detroit Red Wings in the 80s right now. That goalie.
I'm
Yeah,
going
that
to
was
say it
insane.
here
Not even a good
for the
goal.
first time. The Cats, as we'll call them, and I'm saying that in honor of Dave because Dave likes to call people cool cats. So the Cats, the Panthers are going to win the Stanley Cup this year. They are my prediction based on like who's left, which is obviously only going to be 2 teams, of course.
Well, Golden Knights just put up 3 goals in like a blink of an eye. So
Yeah.
they're up 3-0 in the end of the first.
And that's all well and good. I am taking the Cats all day. I have said it before. I'll say it again. It's not about how good you are in the regular season. It doesn't matter how good you are, in the preseason. None of that. All that matters is what you look like during the postseason. And if you get a hot goalie and some good offense going, you can win it all. And that is exactly what we're watching. You were watching one of the hottest goalies.
Yes.
One of the hottest goalies in all of hockey, and the offense is doing just fine. Is it
You
the
look
best
like-
offense left? No. But is it good enough to win a championship? I believe it is.
If you
with the way
look
their
like
goalie's
Jake
playing.
Malik, then you don't have a chance to win the championship. But if you look like Jon Shearer, you have a chance to win the championship. That's
John,
a nice
John,
analogy. That's a
you're
nice
gonna
comparison.
eat those words in about a day.
Well, I'm sorry for Dave for the Lakers loss yesterday. I
At
apologize.
least they're out of their misery.
Yeah.
Listen.
John, you'll be joining them soon. Don't worry. The
I
Canes will be out of
had
misery.
not ever watched Denver play, and that Jokic is fun to watch. It's just it just seems effortless. He doesn't get but 2 inches off the ground. And nobody can
He's
stop
He's
him.
phenomenal.
Nobody can stop him. And those threes that he's just hucking up with like no time left, and like nothing but net.
How the guards not when he's dribbling up the ball up the court? How the guards not all over him trying to steal the ball? He's 7 feet tall. If you're a guard, you should be able just to pick his pocket. He doesn't have
He's
that.
so
big
good at passing too.
Doesn't have that
So-
big of a
He
dribbling
is-
skills.
He is
So
an
Dave,
all-around guy.
in our day, could you imagine, someone 7 foot driving up the court, bringing the ball
No.
up court?
No,
That would never happen.
no.
That'd be the
Imagine a
first
guy
time-
like
First time somebody
Imagine-
closed it was Magic, right?
Yeah, 6'9".
Magic's only
Magic was a
6'9".
guard.
But 6'9" as a point guard, was unheard of back then. It's
Right.
it's not really a thing now.
But
6'9" as a
then
point
But
it
guard.
he was a guard. Jokic is a center. I mean, it's insane.
be
It
like
changes your whole team dynamic.
It would be like if Shaq could do what Jokic is doing.
Well, he did it twice.
Not like
I
this.
saw him go coast to coast. I saw him go coast to coast twice.
He means
Twice.
like in his 20-year career is what he's talking
Well,
about.
I'm just saying.
Nikola Jokic does it like 15, 20 times at least per half.
Okay,
He's unbelievable.
It's out triple
Guys.
doubles for breakfast.
Yeah.
guys, I have to say, John is behaving himself because
Yes.
you can't. We haven't.
I give him
discussed-
credit.
We haven't discussed the one team that really is just shocking the heck out of everybody.
They're
Everybody
not
except
shocking me.
Everybody
not
except
shocked.
me.
I'm not. I truly
Well,
am not.
You didn't pick them.
No, but I
Nobody
knew they'd
but
be
me.
good.
I picked him.
Not this good. Not-
No,
I-
I don't
I picked
disagree.
us all the way to the finals, baby,
You're
and we're
about
gonna
to-
win.
Disgusting.
They
You're about
had
to
the
sweep the
best head
Celtics.
coach.
I mean,
They had the best head coach to get
Oh,
them right
absolutely.
now. It has
Absolutely.
nothing to do. It's all about the coach. It's all about
No,
the
hold on.
coaching.
I hate to have to do John a favor and agree with what he is probably going to say,
For some
but-
damn good shooters.
but you cannot take anything away from Jimmy Butler. If you are going to sit here and say Jimmy Butler hasn't been probably the second best player in the playoffs only because Nikola Jokic is just an absolute force to be reckoned with, then I think you are on another planet and not watching the same game. Jimmy Butler's been the number two.
I am watching the same game, but at one time they had 5 guys on the court that weren't drafted. So what does
Yeah.
that tell you? It has nothing to do with Jimmy Butler. It has to do about scouting. It has to do about
I'm-
coaching.
Are you going to tell? Hold
the
on.
Heat culture, baby.
Yeah,
But are you gonna
it's
sit here and
the
tell me
Heat
that Jimmy
culture.
Butler hasn't
Pat
been
Riley, man.
the best player besides Jokic on the floor this playoffs? Are you really
No
gonna tell me
way.
that?
He's definitely top.
He
two.
is. He's
Get
the
on
second
that.
best.
He's top, but he's not putting up headline top numbers. He's not averaging 30, putting up 30.
That's why he's number two, not number one. But
What game was it? What
he's
game was
winning
it that
games
Philly
because
won?
his players, the Heat culture around him. Is
I
why
don't
Jimmy
disagree,
Butler's shining.
Right.
but
What-
if you
What
put
game was it that?
hold on, if you put any
hang on,
other
hold on.
star in place of Jimmy Butler, this team is not this good. It's a fact.
What-
It ju-
What game was it that Philly won that everyone was going crazy? Harden's back to himself.
It was
I think
like
it was like
game
a game
2, right?
Yeah.
Dropped
Right,
like
and
40-something points.
Harden's the best, and all of a sudden that was it.
Yep.
So Butler has been consistently. I mean, he doesn't have the most points all the time,
but
but
he has
he's
been amazing.
he's a leader. He's
Yep.
doing what needs to be done. And that's all you look for
But
in a leader.
Opposite of Jason Tatum, who has no backbone.
all
Just
right,
like the Celtics.
So
I don't know about
Miami,
that.
So if Miami wins the whole thing, who's the MVP? Who's the MVP of the series?
Jimmy Butler.
Really me, honestly, for believing in them. Everybody else didn't give them a
Wow.
chance. Finals
God.
MVP. I
That
have
was
the
good.
shirt. NBA champions. I'm already ready.
All right.
It would
Wow.
It would be between 3 guys. It would be between either Bam, Butler, because they figure if the Heat want to beat the Nuggets, it's going to be on Bam,
It's-
not on Jimmy. But Jimmy Butler, they're going to let him do his points, his assists, his leadership. Bam is the one that's going to need to be able to go toe to toe with the Joker.
I disagree. I think it's going to end up being, if it's not Butler, I think it's going to be Caleb Martin. If you
No.
saw how he's been playing for the Heat, he's just been absolutely insane for them.
Undrafted player from Nevada.
And he's putting up, like games where he has like 27 and, as an undrafted guy, when you got to cover Jimmy and Bam and those other guys, and then you got to cover a guy that's undrafted that's putting up 27 points, he's doing it at small forward position. That's hard. Like,
Yeah, well,
you don't expect
you know
that
what,
for these other
John,
teams.
I have bad news for you. You're not winning a championship this year.
That's what you say.
Can you lose the championship and still have the
How
MVP?
scary is it that Denver's finally going to win?
It's you know what? It's well deserved.
It's about as scary as the NBA final ratings are going to be.
Yeah.
They're going to
Yeah.
be great.
You know
They're
what?
gonna be terrible.
They're gonna.
They're
They're
going to
gonna
be it's going to be the bottom
one of the worst.
5. It's going to be one of the and I hate
And-
to say it because
And it's
It's probably
unfortunate.
going to be a great series.
It's I say it is arguably one of the best matchups you could have drawn out on paper. I think the only matchups that might have been better would have probably been Nuggets versus maybe the the Sixers just because of the storyline between,
the Bucks,
former MVP.
maybe going to winning.
I was going to say them
back
as
to
well.
back.
Yeah. I think the storyline you could produce between, Jokic versus Embiid for the past couple of years for the MVP race, right? Now they're fighting for a championship. The storyline would have been awesome. But in terms of just the guys on the court, I don't think that there's a truly better matchup besides, the Bucks
bad
maybe.
blood between the Nuggets and Heat.
I know.
If you remember last year when they got into that fight in Miami and Jokic hit Morris in the head and there's a big scuffle.
I know.
Don't forget the Heat haven't forgotten about that. Like, they're a team that like what they're doing to Boston is revenge for the series.
Nobody's denying that.
Like, they're the type of team that is petty enough to hold that over the other team's head. Like, this is going to be if Miami and Denver are there, like, they're going to beat the hell out of each other. It's going to be a physical series where an old school NBA series where they beat the hell out of each other. I
am taking the Nuggets in 6. That is my official prediction.
The Nuggets will probably be like a $3 favorite to win the series.
Yeah.
So if you like the Heat, I'm sure that the betting public is going to be all over Denver just because of the storylines of the Joker and all that. And they're going to say Denver had a harder path to get to the NBA Finals. So if you like the Heat, wait, because you could probably get a better number.
How did Denver have a harder path? Miami literally went through the 1 and 2 seed in the East.
Well, they had to play. The
it doesn't get harder than that.
No, I'll tell you why.
It's the East, John. It's the East.
It's the East versus the West
for a while.
The Bucks and Boston
are better. The Bucks without Giannis. Don't even start on that.
Game.
No, we missed multiple.
He wasn't healthy, and he wasn't healthy the time he was playing, John.
The Heat were without Harrow and Oladipo.
That's fine. Nobody's denying that.
Was only averaging 12 minutes.
Right, but that's a key part of their.
Yeah, but you're acting like you guys had an impossible task.
They're an 8 seed losing player.
John, you weren't an 8 seed. Okay, on paper, yes. In reality, you should have been a much higher seed, and you know it.
I'm just telling you. I mean,
all right, so I don't want to hear it.
The Bucks and Boston are better than anybody under the Nuggets in the West. Like, anybody 2 through 8 is not even close to Boston or Milwaukee.
I totally disagree.
As far as talent-wise. Nowhere close.
I disagree.
Go look at the records. I mean, I'm not taking Memphis over them. I'm not taking Sacramento over them. I'm not taking the Lakers over them. I'm not taking anybody in the West you can name.
I'll take Golden State over them. Absolutely. All day, every day. Absolutely.
What happened to Golden State against the Lakers? They didn't even show up.
Okay. Boston hasn't showed up. So how could you say Boston's a better team if they're not showing?
The Cavs barely showed up. I can say that about a lot of teams.
Personal, and this is.
So when it involves his, all right, John.
It involves personal.
It's very personal. Miami and Boston hate each other.
So do
the statistic. Personal. I gotta add that to my odds. I gotta add that to my odds breaker.
Yeah. It's because it's
personal. I gotta add 3 to 4 more points when I do odds for personal.
Because it's personal.
It matters.
No, John.
You got that chip on your shoulder.
Just stop talking. You're being silly. All right, Raphael. The real reason we bring you on is because we want the best bets of the week.
Yeah. Give us some.
We haven't really talked about that. What do you got? Make us some money, please.
I'll stick with the NBA. I would say I'm going to lean towards probably going 6-7 games this series, the NBA Finals, where if it's Heat and Denver, I don't see a sweep. I think both teams win on home court, so you could probably get plus 350 or higher on either team to win in 6 games. I don't think it's going to go 7, so I think if you bet 5 and 6, you get better value than picking the 7, because if it goes 7, you're probably only going to get like 2 to 1. But if you get 5 to 1 on winnings in 5, on either one you can make money. So I'm just saying you can take both teams at 5 or 6, and you'll make money no matter who wins, because you're going to get anywhere higher between 5 to 1 or 4 to 1. So I would say that's probably the best bet on there. I would, like I said, first of all, the NBA ratings are going to be horrible. The networks do not want to see 7 games. No offense, John. But that's probably not going to happen. Other than that, I would say I do believe with Jake. I thought Dallas was going to be a tough out in the NHL, but the hottest goalie right now, the Golden Knights or Dallas will be favored over Florida, no matter what. Even though they'll have the hottest goalie and we're all rested, But I think the Florida Panthers are going to host the Cup. And I
You
can't
know what?
believe
I was
another
gonna
Stanley
say-
Cup is going to be in Florida, which
Raphael, you know what that
hockey.
sounds like to me when you say that? That sounds like plus money. That sounds like a great deal if you're someone that wants to bet on the NHL. It
You'll
sounds
get
like
probably plus 180, 2-1 on.
Yeah, I was gonna
if it's
say.
the Golden Knights in Florida, you'll probably get a higher price.
Yeah, I was gonna say you're gonna get a good deal on the Panthers to win it all at this. All things considered, that sounds like a good bet to me. That to me might truly be the best bet on just an outright winner of one of these next two series. If you're asking me, because I love the Golden Knights, and I would be beyond ecstatic to watch them win a cup. I think they are a phenomenally fun story.
I will be there. I will be at
Yeah.
T-Mobile if it's the Golden Knights.
Oh, you better send pictures. Jack Eichel
I'm
has
not
been
allowed
just.
to take pictures in arenas. Why do people always tell me that?
Well, I don't know, because that's the first thing I think of.
Sorry.
But Jack Eichel has been awesome, and I've loved every minute of what I've seen from the Golden Knights. It's been really fun, but they're not going to win. As great of a story as it would be.
They're playing really well. Don't discount them, man.
John, you and I both know the secret sauce, or the not so secret sauce, I guess. It's not really a secret anymore, to winning a Stanley Cup is a hot goalie. And the hottest goalie in the league is not on the Golden Knights, not on the Dallas Stars, and not on the Carolina Hurricanes. He is on the Florida Panthers. And that is why I believe they're going to win. It's as simple as that. That's the rule.
These series, they don't start like the day after these series end. Like
it doesn't matter.
You give them like a week off. So if you give teams like a week off, typically guy's gonna cool down if he's not playing.
Yeah, time off is the ultimate killer when it comes to.
Yeah, you say that,
playoffs.
John. Yet I seem to remember that Florida has stayed hot throughout the entire playoffs. I think they'll be just fine.
They beat Boston, which everyone thought they were going to create. Everyone was picking Boston like everyone was picking Boston against Miami Heat when they only said Miami Heat had a 5% chance of winning. Yep. I think the Bruins probably had a bigger number than the Miami Heat beating the Celtics.
You're right. Exactly. So
does Miami finish the sweep tonight?
I sure as heck hope so.
You know what? I'm going to say for a sports gambling guy that looks for all this, I'm going to say I'm hoping not. Because now the NBA Finals doesn't start till June 1st. Hey, NBA, move the date up. If there's 2 sweeps, we're going to have 8 days of no NBA. You have
unbelievable.
It's crazy that they.
That is
That's
ridiculous.
Crazy.
So I'm hoping not. But if it is, then I think shame on. Thank you for NBA for ruining your track record of having a nice. It could have possibly NBA Finals, and everyone's going to lose interest by the time Game 1. That's why I think the ratings are going to be horrible. If Miami wins tonight, now you have such a biggest long layoff before the NBA Finals. They're going to lose interest.
It's teams that people are not inherently interested to begin with, unfortunately.
Yeah, so you're going to lose interest, and people will be watching the Mayans instead of Game 1 of the NBA Finals and stuff like that. People watch the Cube on TNT watching your boy, your former Miami Heat, and they're going to be watching the NBA Finals.
Yeah. All right, Raphael, last question, and I have to ask, if you don't have odds, if you have an idea of what the odds will be, I'd love to know. There are rumors that LeBron is potentially going to retire. There's words that, hey, he might retire. I don't know. He's not sure. Do you have odds on his potential retirement?
I did put them up. I put up minus 2,000 that he would not retire. Okay. So I think it should be higher because there's no way he's going to retire. I just think it's he's the battle, maybe playing a little chess game. First of all, I'm hearing that Kyrie Irving will not be a Laker next year, so people could probably get off your high hopes on that. I don't think he's going to – because I think they have to give up Reeves if they want to bring in Kyrie Irving. And what I understood, that LeBron James loves this Austin Reeves kid, undrafted, works really hard, and stuff like that. Can hit a 3 shots, so I don't think he wants to give up on youngsters and a headache on there. But we also put a word where LeBron James – play next year if it's not the Lakers, because he still has a contract. He can opt out or resign for another year or 2 and play for his son. We put the Knicks as 3-1, 76ers 3-1, Clippers 5-1, and stuff like that. But he's not retiring.
Okay.
No, and I think he also wants to play with his wait for his son to get to the
Oh, he definitely does.
There's certainly a
He's said
chance
it
he's going to do
multiple
that.
times.
I agree. But I will
would
say,
think if you're a Laker fan, if Dave, I think keep an eye out for Trae Young being a Laker. Keep an eye out for that.
Raphael, you suck.
He's so good at this.
Because I was going to say.
It's like he does it for a living.
Only if.
I think Trae Young's not a Hawk, but there's two teams you have to look out for. It's the Lakers, and I can't believe I'm going to say this, but the Miami Heat.
That would make sense. It never made sense trading for DeJounte Murray when you already had Trae Young. I always thought that was dumb having two star point guards. Like, it's not they counteract each other because, I mean, you really can't run with 2 point guards on the court. Like, I always thought that trade was stupid for the Hawks. So at some point I thought that they have to get rid of Trae Young because you can't have two players in the same position in the NBA.
Yeah,
it just didn't make sense to me.
And if you're LeBron and AD, and let's say Reeves and all these other guys, would you rather have a guy that's been bouncing around and can't find a home, or Trae Young that had little grubbings with his head coach that got rid of him? Maybe he just needs a new jersey. Put him in a Laker jersey. Laker culture will surround him.
He's extremely talented.
Yeah. If I'm the Lakers and stuff like that, I would pick Trae Young a million times over Kyrie Irving. Now, is Kyrie Irving a better overall player? I would say probably, but he doesn't have that baggage that Trae Young has.
Yeah, no, you're not wrong. Well, we'll see. So, all right, Raphael, plug what you got. We appreciate you coming on as always.
I'm not going to plug my anything. I enjoy coming on you guys' show. Everybody, please keep on watching us, NFL alumni. You do a whole bunch of great other shows. Wednesday, the Cubs show. I watch it all the time. Not lately because the Cubs have been losing. I don't want to hear you guys.
Hey, we're winning tonight, 6-1.
Hey.
Woohoo!
Congratulations!
You guys do such great stuff on all your other shows and stuff like that. So I ain't gonna plug nothing to me. I just plug you guys. Don't forget to watch all you guys' shows anytime you click on Sideline Sports. Watch it.
Thanks.
Well, definitely
Raphael,
follow Raphael on Instagram. He has odds on everything. He's got his videos up every day, so make sure you're following him.
I'm doing a Tony Awards. I'm doing a Tony Awards right now and hot dog eating contest right
now.
Nice.
Oh, love it.
Oh, I love food.
Where's that at?
Maybe I should do a taco eating contest. Right? I know San Diego does one. They have a fried fish taco contest that they're trying to get the world eating to jump on board and get that sponsored and stuff like that.
That sounds good to me.
We'll have to put Dave in at that one.
Oh, please
do. There we go. Celebrity.
I can eat a lot. I just can't eat fast.
All right.
Well, Joey Chestnut, who I know pretty well,
crazy.
He would probably crush you then if you can't eat fast. Because I've seen him eat live, and it's pretty disgusting.
Oh,
amazing.
I can only imagine. All right, Raphael. As always, thank you so much for coming on. It's always great seeing you, man.
Take it easy, guys. Have a great week.
Yeah, you too.
Thanks, buddy.
All right, gentlemen. We got just a few minutes here. I want to turn it to one of you guys. What do you want to wrap things up with here today? It's our first NFL alumni show. What do we feel? I don't want to talk about the Heat anymore. I can tell you that.
Well, I want to talk about the fact there's a delay here, and every time I go to try and straighten my hat, I think I got it straight, and then I move it, and then the delay hits, and then it goes crooked.
Is there a delay like when you're at your own house? Is there a delay when you're moving your hat like in person?
You know what? There might be a delay when I'm looking in the mirror. I just never realized it. And so, I'm trying to figure out the delay. I don't know if you've been noticing, but
that might be your
I'm trying to fix my dang hat because
John, watch yourself.
I
don't know. What are we going to do with John here?
John is really pushing the envelope.
He challenged me earlier. He said I behaved. So, I mean, kind of had.
That's also fair.
I have a question, though.
You were
right.
Yes,
now.
JB.
Are you guys
to say you were right? And that you were right.
Yes.
Unlike me last week, I couldn't wait to tell you guys how right I was about both my teams making the finals and they both get swept.
This is the reason to tell each other when we're right because. When we have wives and stuff, we can't say we're right then.
You're right about that.
Place where we have to say we're right.
So wait, is Raphael still on your screen? Because I still see Raphael.
I don't see him.
No, he's not here.
Oh, my computer thing is frozen. I got the.
How old are you, JB?
Old.
Older than you.
John, he's so old. He's so old. He remembers watching dinosaurs walk the earth.
Well, JB keeps changing colors too. Are you at a disco or where are you?
I think he's watching
Nice.
like a game.
He's probably watching the game like I am.
But the Cub game's on.
No, you're watching the Cubs game? How are you not watching this basketball game?
I could care less about Jimmy Butler sweeping the
All right.
Celtics.
All right, serious question here. Serious question.
I think he's at a strip club.
Is
all right, James Harden.
Hey,
yeah.
Is Jimmy Butler secretly Michael Jordan's son? Is
no.
Like, have you guys heard this theory before?
I saw the picture.
Okay, Dave, do you know the picture I'm thinking of?
Yeah.
I think you do. The one where Jimmy Butler is side by side with Michael Jordan, and they made Jimmy Butler bald to look like Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they really decided, well, we're going to put MJ and Jimmy next to each other. I'm not kidding. They look like twins. It is scary how similar they look.
That's pretty wild.
In that picture, yes. Pretty similar.
But I don't know.
Bye-bye, John.
Bye, John.
See you, John.
I guess John got offended because we said that Jimmy Butler might be
John's going to go watch Jimmy Butler. So he wants to go see if it's his son.
Hey, just
John's doing a DNA test on Jimmy Butler.
Hey, the math adds up, apparently. Jimmy Jimmy's father walked out around the time that it would have made sense. Michael was in that area where Jimmy was, I believe, born. Like the months prior to him being born. There's a lot of similarities that have apparently added up to these
conspiracy theory.
Hey, and anything is possible. I'm not certain if I buy into it. I'm just saying it's possible.
I don't know.
He's got that cold-blooded killer mentality in terms of the game that
and so getting back to the two teams that are getting their butts whooped, they just look like they're just standing still.
Yeah.
At least the Lakers brought in that one kid that had won a ring with LeBron and made something happen.
I know exactly what you're talking about, and I'm like picturing him.
Tristan
Thompson.
Yeah.
And I'm like, finally some life. Someone that wants to play the freaking game, So I don't know. The Celtics, they look beat halfway through, and they're just kind of watching Miami play.
Oh, absolutely. But they're still keeping it close, with that said. So all right. On that note, it is about time to wrap up. So I don't know exactly. We our timing is a little messed up because we're not on StreamYard, but I have the clock. It's at about 53 right now. So we normally wrap up between 55 and 56. So we're right on time for that. So Dave, I'll start with you. I already know where this is going to go, and I know the answer, but plug whatever you got, man. I know the answer.
It's right there. See, it's real simple. That's my name. That's where I am.
He's just Dave. I know.
Well, I might spiff it up a little, because you guys, I feel like maybe I'm a little archaic, and so I might spiff it up a little bit, not too much, but do keep an eye out. We are putting together the Seahawk channel, the Seahawk Show. We're going to be doing that. Walter Thurman is committed to it, and we're just going to latch on a couple more guys. That's going to be through Sideline Sports, through the NFL alumni platform. And we're going to be doing live shows at venues and getting the 12th Man fans in Southern California involved. So that's going to be a lot of fun. That's coming out, and we'll let you know about that.
There you go. Dave finally plugged something. I'm so proud.
I'm not a suck up, man. I'm not a suck up, but like the stuff that Dave does, like in the communities, honestly, man, is just so it's awesome to see, because you don't typically. I mean, I know there's a lot of athletes that do a lot of good. But Dave isn't out there trying to like make himself look good. He's just trying.
It's not about Dave.
He's trying to make a difference out
He's
there
just
for like
Dave.
the less fortunate. Trying to make sure fans are able to get involved. I mean, he's doing the charity golf tournaments, for
Dave's
the veterans and stuff. Man, like I just want to say,
guy.
Dave, that I'm very impressed, and I really respect all the stuff that you do. Like I said, you're not out there trying to like make it about yourself. You're just out there you're making a difference. And I respect, athletes, former athletes that like you, that are just out there doing your thing. And it doesn't matter if a camera's on you or not. You're just, you're out there making a difference. So,
John, that was so nice of you.
It was. It's very kind.
That really was.
Very few and far between we get something nice for John. So,
I
so everyone,
respect. I mean,
know. We know.
Respect is due.
All right, John. Well, while you have the floor, plug what you got, my man.
Oh yeah, of course. We're on NFL alumni here. We're thankful for Gus and the team for allowing us to come on the NFL alumni. We're really thankful for that. And then Sideline Sports YouTube and all of our channels you see at the bottom. We have so many great people, so many shows, JB. I mean, you were talking about earlier. My gosh, I can't even keep track of all of that we got.
I know. I'm going to get to it when I go because I got a lot to say. I got
all right.
Pretty excited to show because all the technical part, but I'm going to cut you off, Joe. We got over 200 shows now on Sideline Sports. We've merged with Let's Talk Sports, who had over 180 shows that'll be coming on Sideline Sports. So, we went from a great network to an even greater network with a great partner. Let's Talk Sports with over 180 shows will be on the Sideline Sports Network, working with us, doing what we do and have fun. We're lucky. We're on the NFL Alumni Network. We're on DBTV. We're going to be on Abigail TV once we get everything programmed. So we're all over the place. So make sure you're downloading the YouTube channel. Make sure, you got all the links at the bottom of the screen that Jake put up for us. And, obviously follow me, JB_the program.
Of course, got to end with the shameless plug. Of course, you guys can find me on Twitter and social media in general. Just look up my name. Twitter is @Jake_Malik, but my social media in general is just Jake Malik, and just look me up. John already said it, but we got all the stuff scrolling across the bottom of your screen. It's all our social media. It's just look up Sideline Sports. You'll find us. On that note, it was a great start to our NFL alumni media career, if you will, and we're looking forward to more. So on that note, everybody have a good one, and we will see you next time.